JR Motorsports recently announced that the iconic number 8 font, made famous by Dale Earnhardt Jr. himself, is making its triumphant return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This isn't just any old number, it's a symbol that carries with it decades of racing heritage and fan adoration. The announcement came on a Monday morning, catching many by surprise. The old Dale Earnhardt Inc. font for the number 8 will be adorning the sides of Sammy Smith's Chevrolet in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for the 2025 season. This marks a significant departure from the proprietary font that JR Motorsports has been using for various drivers in recent years. Dale Jr. expressed his excitement about the return of the iconic number, saying, "It is awesome to have this number in this font back at JR Motorsports this year, and I can't wait to see it on the car in Daytona." That's going to be a pretty awesome feeling for me personally. Sammy is going to do a great job with it, excited to have that number out there, and I know everybody else is as well. But how did this all come about? Well, it turns out that Dale Jr. acquired the copyright to the design over the summer. This happened after his stepmother, Teresa Earnhardt, allowed ownership of the font to lapse. There was an almost silent understanding that she wanted Dale Jr. and his sister, Kelly Earnhardt Miller, to be the ones to pick it up. Dale Jr. commented on this, saying that no matter where their relationship has been over the years, he always trusted Teresa to protect his legacy, and she trusted the siblings to do the same. The return of the number 8 font isn't just about nostalgia, it's about continuing a family legacy. The number has been associated with the Earnhardt family since Dale Jr.'s grandfather, Ralph Earnhardt, used it to win the 1959 and 1960 NASCAR Limited Sportsman Championships. Dale Earnhardt Sr. also used the number in his racing efforts in what is now the Xfinity Series throughout the 1980s. This announcement isn't just about the return of a legendary number. It also marks a reunion between Dale Jr. and one of the most iconic brands in NASCAR history, Budweiser. That's right, the dynamic duo that captured the hearts of racing fans for years is back together again. Dale Jr. reached out to Budweiser when the opportunity around the trademark of the number came up. He said,
"Yeah, so we actually was thinking about not running the race, and we called Bud, and I said, man, if we're going to do this, we got an opportunity to do something really cool." And we had some great conversations, and a lot of the people that used to work there when I was familiar with the brand or in constant communication with the brand back 20 years ago are obviously probably no longer working there. I know several of them that we stayed in touch with over the years. There's a new group of folks but they all understand the history of the 8 car, the red Bud car. They all are.
The reunion with Budweiser is clearly more than just a business deal for Dale Jr. His gratitude towards the brand is evident in his words. "It is an incredible opportunity for me to be able to reunite with Budweiser in the number 8. Budweiser and I had some great memories with that iconic scheme and number. We've always supported each other over the years. It's going to be really special for me to be able to represent that brand on the racetrack again." Dale Jr. even shared a touching anecdote about Budweiser's loyalty. When he announced his retirement from Cup racing, Budweiser created a commercial using a song by Lord Huron, one of Dale Jr.'s favorite bands. This gesture, which Budweiser did out of their own pocket, deeply moved Dale Jr. and reinforced his loyalty to the brand. Now let's talk about where we saw this iconic number and partnership in action. The South Carolina 400. This event was scheduled for the Saturday before Thanksgiving at Florence Motor Speedway. It wasn't just any race, it was a 400-lap extravaganza that included a 250-lap late model stock race and 150 laps of other local events and heat races. Dale Jr. is particularly excited about this event. He's a big fan of Florence Motor Speedway, describing it as an all-worn-out surface where you will have to be smart about how you race. He's run this race for the past couple of years and can't wait to get back on the track. He said,
"The length of that race. I love the long late model stock events."
In fact, Dale Jr. recently competed in the South Carolina 400 late model race, contending for the win, just as he did for so long behind the wheel of the Bud 8. He's hoping this next crop of JR Motorsports drivers will add to that legacy. For the 2025 season, Sammy Smith will be behind the wheel of the number 8 car. This will be Smith's 3rd season season at the Xfinity Series level and is second with JR Motorsports. Smith's previous 2 seasons have been remarkably consistent, with 1 win each year, 6 and then 7 top 5 finishes, and 15 and then 16 top 10 finishes. At 21 years old, Smith is poised for a breakout season. Smith himself is excited about the opportunity. He said, "I feel like development-wise, it's been very good, but I had to grow up and learn a lot this year. Switching teams and moving over to JR Motorsports was a big learning curve for me. It's been good. I feel like we started to click at the end of the year with Philip and his group, and I'm excited to see what that brings for 2025. Smith will be part of an exciting lineup at JR Motorsports for the 2025 season. He'll be teaming up with returning champion Justin Allgaier and new teammates Carson Cavapil and Connor Zilish. Smith expressed his enthusiasm for the team, saying, "I think it's a really exciting group of drivers and teammates. There's a lot of talent and youth, and I think we can grow off each other and push each other to get where we all want to be by the end of the year." The return of the iconic number 8 and the Budweiser partnership isn't just about on-track performance, it's also about merchandise and collectibles. Dale Jr. mentioned that the team at JR Motorsports has been hard at work designing new merchandise. He said,
The gang upstairs in Junior Motorsports designing some merch. We talked about putting out a couple pieces. So that'll be out there and available to anyone who might want to have it.
He's particularly excited about the die-cast models that will be produced. As a self-proclaimed massive die-cast fan, Dale Jr. can't wait to add these to his collection.
People that work at Junior Motorsports that I have 100% trust in to be able to put together some nice merch for folks that want it. And I can't wait to see the die-cast. You know, I'm a massive die-cast fan, especially having worked with Lionel to develop the mold for the late model stock car, so that myself and other racers that run this car could have their own car designed and produced by Lionel. And so it'll be cool to have that in my case. I got 2 cases at home that are about full. And so I don't know, man. There's a bunch about this to be excited about. I know that it's going to pull on, I know it's going to be a great nostalgia for a lot of folks. I know it will hopefully draw a lot of folks to the racetrack in Florence before Thanksgiving to see the race in person. Some may be seeing a late model stock race for the very first time. Some will more than likely fall in love with the discipline and the style of racing and the grassroots atmosphere that I love so much. You may have been to those kind of races in the past and just kind of gotten disconnected or separated, and so it'll be cool, I think, to have people reminded of why this is fun, why it's fun to go to your local track, why it's fun to be a part of whatever's going on there. On the other side, it'll be streamed on Flow.
This announcement is expected to have a significant impact on grassroots racing. Dale Jr. hopes it will draw more people to local tracks and introduce new fans to late model stock racing. He emphasized the importance of streaming partners like Flow Racing in making these events accessible to a wider audience.
You know, our streaming partners like Flow are so critical to the success of grassroots racing, to the success of these racetracks like Florence, Langley, all the racetracks that the Cars Tour goes to. Flow, the streaming partner like Flow, is extremely critical to the success and future of Cars Tour. So I mean, getting their numbers up and getting people to see how easy it is to access this content and watch these races live is because I think there's a ton of people out there that would love to watch them and just don't know how or where it's at, right? Mm-hmm. So I hope this program will check so many damn boxes. And
Dale Jr. elaborated on his hopes for the event.
I know it's going to be a great nostalgia for a lot of folks. I know it will hopefully draw a lot of folks to the racetrack in Florence before Thanksgiving to see the race in person. Some may be seeing a late model stock race for the very first time. Some will more than likely fall in love with the discipline and the style of racing and the grassroots atmosphere that I love so much.
Looking ahead to 2025, Dale Jr. plans to focus on the Cars Tour and his broadcasting duties. He'll be calling the Brickyard Summer races in June and July. As for his own racing, he's aiming to participate in 3 to 5 Cars Tour events throughout the year, primarily at the start and end of the season. Dale Jr. said,
I want to run strictly Cars Tour events next year. And as my calendar's always kind of been anywhere from 3 to 5 events. So somewhere between, 3 to 5 events in the Cars Tour is what I'm going to try to do next year. Again, at the start of the year and toward the back end of the year. But we're hopeful that...
There's also the possibility of another event with Budweiser in 2025. While the details aren't finalized yet, Dale Jr. expressed hope that they'll have another opportunity to drive the Bud brand around the racetrack next year. One of the most impressive aspects of this announcement was how well it was kept under wraps. In an age of constant leaks and social media speculation, the team managed to keep this secret until the official reveal. Dale Jr. expressed his surprise at this, saying,
So pretty exciting. And I'm really shocked that we were able to keep this
a secret,
such a good secret. It's hard to do these days.
It was hard.
With the...
They did tease the announcement with some old photos on social media, including a memorable shot of Dale Jr. with a giant Budweiser can from a 2004 photo shoot. Dale Jr. shared the story behind this photo with...
To have that stuff, because in moments like this, it's kind of fun using it in some of the teas that the PR team put together. They put together this little program over the last 12 or 24 hours of how we'd roll this out.
The media reaction to the announcement has been overwhelmingly positive.
Teasing it a little bit on social media with the photos. So that photo of the big giant can, I remember we were at the shoot that day. This is probably 2004-ish, and we were. I had those cans, and we were doing a shoot where I'm holding the can toward the camera, and I went over to the guy and I said, "Man."
In addition to the big news, Dale Jr. also revealed that Tony Eury Sr. will be a guest on his podcast, the Dale Jr. Download. This will be the first time Eury Sr. has sat down for a one-on-one interview on the show, and Dale Jr. is looking forward to digging into some racing history with him. Dale Jr. said,
"This is the first time on the show."
Right, and go. I'm really excited about that because. He's not a guy that wants. He is not a guy that is going to sit down with you and.
The return of the number 8 and the Budweiser partnership is more than just a business move for Dale Jr. It's a chance to honor his family's legacy, reconnect with a brand that played a significant role in his career, and contribute to the grassroots racing scene he's so passionate about. This announcement also ties into a broader trend of nostalgia and heritage in NASCAR. Just recently, Chase Elliott and Hendrick Motorsports unveiled a throwback paint scheme for the Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway. The scheme is a nod to Dale Earnhardt Jr. as 2014 Daytona 500 victory, featuring the iconic red, white, and blue colors that fans associate with some of Jr.'s biggest wins. Speaking of memorable wins, it's worth revisiting one of Dale Jr.'s most emotional victories, his 2014 win at Martinsville Speedway. This race held special significance for several reasons. It was Dale Jr.'s first win at Martinsville, a track where his father had found great success. It also came on the 10th anniversary of a tragic plane crash that had claimed the lives of several Hendrick Motorsports team members. After the race, an emotional Dale Jr. said,
"As everybody knows, I love racing at Florence Motor Speedway. There's a couple events that happen throughout the year, one of them being the South Carolina 400. I believe this year it's a 250-lap late model stock race. The other 150 laps will make up the other local events and heat races and so forth. So it's 400 laps of racing, but
he added,
around the actual trademark of the number coming up for grabs. Everybody knows, I think, at this point that we've applied for it. It's a process that takes a little bit of time that is playing out right now. But we reached out to Bud and said, man, if we're ever going to do, I announced that I wasn't going to race in the Xfinity Series next year.
If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on upcoming content.